Alrighty, guys. Hey, it's it's Sunday. Sorry this is getting uploaded so late. I recorded a bunch of stuff earlier today, and for some reason it didn't record audio. I am currently enjoying the fine brew of Pretty Things. Um, it's called Baby Tree. Not entirely certain what kind of beer it is. It doesn't really say. Jens, what was in your video? Oh, Jins, when it comes to your viewpoint on reading books before going to see the movie, I have a very different opinion. Actually, it's the complete opposite. Uh, I watch the movie before I see the books. I watch the movie before I see the books. It's pretty good. It's only the equivalent of two beers, so I shouldn't be drunk. I watch the movies and then I read the books because I watch movies as a separate idea. So I watched uh, Field of Dreams before I read Shoeless Joe. And Field of Dreams is based off of the book Shoeless Joe by, I think it's W.P. Kinsella. Forget specifically what his name is. Um, and I really enjoyed the book that way because it showed me the differences that they chose, and it allowed me to see the difference between the two. Um, as opposed to the book, when I read the book before the movie, like with Harry Potter, where you just end up sitting there judging the movie as much as possible, going, oh, well, it needs to be more like the book, it needs to be as much like the book as possible. So, yeah. Danielle, I loved your video. I'd like to say that no opinion, or having opinions is never a bad thing. Um, if you're very opinionated, that's still not bad. The only thing is that there are a lot of people that are opinionated, and you just got to find the right people to talk to. I mean, there are times where I talk with people, and you just end up sitting there yelling at each other, and it doesn't work out. Um, there are times where, like, I have a friend named Dylan who's very conservative, and me and him have talked about our political viewpoints, and we came to a middle ground. And he and I, when we talked, basically realized that our points may be a little different, but they're very similar. So we could easily find a middle ground. I mean, the only thing that you have to realize when you're opinionated is that um, you may be wrong. Um, I mean, now granted, when it comes to the Harry Potter thing, I almost completely agree with you. Harry should have died. I'm not even gonna care that it keeps taking away my light. Harry should have died because he got shot in the head with magic, with dark magic. He got shot in the head. Your brain is a Horcrux. Then I'm sorry. Um, you should die because the only way to get rid of a Horcrux is to destroy the Horcrux. The problem is that that's not very marketable. When you have a storyline, you can't just pull a sci-fi move and go reverse the polarity because that doesn't work. I mean, you have a world of magic that is also based in reality. You have to follow the rules. Rima, is it bad that the second I saw your Invader Zim shirt, I went to go put on mine, and then immediately started singing the Doom song? um, Invader Zim was one of my favorite shows growing up. Getting to your question of what our favorite shows were growing up, some of my favorite '90s shows were The Mysterious Adventures of Alex Mack, um, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Watching Guts was awesome because Mike O'Malley is from Massachusetts, and he would wear a Bruins jersey pretty much every show. So I would always get like wicked excited to see him when he was in the show. Aside from that, it was some of the more blasé ones. I really liked Doug. I loved Rocket Power, Rugrats. Growing up, oh yeah, Rugrats. I always wanted to be like Tommy Pickles, but I was always more like Chucky. All that as well. I really liked all that up until uh, anybody that they hired after Danny Tamborelli, because Danny Tamborelli to me was the last actually funny person that they hired. Um, Kenan and Kel was always awesome. SpongeBob SquarePants. I think that's it for those. Lucy, I don't think you and me are gonna get along for the next 5 or 6 months because of the whole rugby thing. First, you block me. You say it was an accident. I really enjoyed your video. Pretty much all of you mentioned uh, my being in a wheelchair for a week, and I'm sorry about that. I'll have a link below in the description. But you can always follow. You just go to my personal channel and watch the video there. It's just that I was always a fan of the Travis Roy Foundation because paralysis has always been so close to being cured that I never understood why people didn't do more to try and solve the issue. There's a girl who graduated from my school the same year as my sister, who was the first person in the history of Beverly School of the Deaf and Blind to graduate from high school. And the Beverly School for the Blind and Deaf has been around for more than 100 years. She was the first person in over a century's worth of students to graduate from a normal high school. And so I always wanted to try being a paraplegic for the day so that I could understand the conundrum that these people face. And I was presented with that opportunity after I found the Vlogbrothers, and I could do a P4A. So yeah, I immediately made that one. I had a lot of trouble finding uh, a wheelchair. To be honest, Lucy, I was in about the same boat you were. I was going to quit after a couple of hours. The reason I went to the mall was because I knew if I had to spend the entire day in a wheelchair in my house, I'd have gone insane. I highly suggest it to anybody who wants to do it. And Craig, I know you talked about how you had a class that allowed you to be in a wheelchair and go to a locker and try to get like books out of a locker and wear uh, gloves that made your hands more arthritic, like feel like you had arthritis. Um, and it was just uh, it allows you to see how people perceive you when you are in a wheelchair. And while I kind of downplayed it in my video, um, I was kind of losing control of my temper. You quickly find how BS everybody is about how much they do for the handicapped, and quickly find yourself in a situation where you're hating everything. You get really mad at people because they don't understand what you're going through. And even though I was only in it for a day, and I knew I was only in it for a day, I knew that I only had 24 hours, you quickly find yourself going, what are you looking at? Or, why haven't you realized that people need your help here? That people need you to make your business more handicap accessible. I mean, by the end of the day, I was just livid. I was livid and I was tired because I had been rolling around all day. It was ridiculous. If you want to learn more about that, link down below. I'll be sure to add it in this time. Craig, I already said what I wanted to say about the Project for Awesome and what you said about your class that you had. I wish I had had that class when I was younger, but I didn't. Um, but I wanted to comment on the fact that you said that you're embarrassed to mention your vlogs to other people. I am too. I am very, very embarrassed to mention that I vlog to people because it's just it is kind of it does sound kind of ludicrous when you explain it to people. It's weird, and it's just something that I hope eventually we'll get used to, but we probably won't. After a while, we'll maybe just ignore everyone who looks at us funny for doing it. But I don't know. Um, and finally, James, thank you for showing that diagram as to why I've been getting such bad weather over here. in Massachusetts because it has been getting annoying. It was 70 for a while here, and it was 70 again today, but it's been really bad weather recently, and it's been driving me up a wall. It snowed twice, and it rained a couple of times, and it's been driving us insane. And Craig has been mentioning it too, and so has been Danielle. So I've been wondering why it's happening, and I've been watching the storms, and I've been watching the forecasts, and nobody's been talking about that swoop thing that it's been doing. So I thank you for that. I'm gonna go because I have to edit this real quick. This is gonna be a very long video, and I'm sorry, but I'm about a couple beers in, so I don't really care. I just wanted to say one quick thing before I go. I know a lot of us have been stressed out. Um, Rima, you just went through surgery. Lucy, I saw your vlog the other day. I mean, I can't even imagine the stress that you're going through day to day. Um, I know that Danielle, you've been stressed out about your schedule. Craig, about your new job. Uh, I mean, it's just we're all having um, we're all having stresses in our life, and I am too. But I just wanted to say that you know listening to some good music helps. Talking to your friends helps. I hope that we can all get through it. And if you guys ever need to talk, um, just let me know. I'm pretty much an insomniac at this point, so I'm up pretty late. If you guys ever want to talk, don't be afraid to Skype me, to IM me, to talk to me on your pants. Um, whatever it is. You guys have my info in one of my previous videos, and I would be more than willing to listen. I'm gonna go. I can't wait to see everybody's videos this week. And, Jins, I will see you tomorrow. Good night.